Yeah, so for me, like my biggest influences, I would say definitely Keenan Kendrick, Travis, Drake, Tyler.
Me and him, like when that song was made, I actually had like a disagreement, but he was like, "Yo, you take the front part of that beat off. Like I don't want any drums."
Was pissed.
Bro, I was like, "Bro, I'll take that beat back." And he's like, "So you're gonna make me write to the drum part of the beat?" I was like, "Yes."
You say you're definitely based out of Lexington, right?
Kentucky. It's rough for me because I got my Louisville ties, and then I went to UK, graduated from there. I played baseball there. So I have these deep ties on both sides of it.
But there's a very important question we've asked every episode of the podcast.
Here we
It's
go.
a very important question. Are you guys dry guys or lotion guys when you jerk off?
I'm actually pretty ambidextrous, so
And but that means you used to. Nah, definitely not dry.
Definitely not dry. Thank you. Sorry, there's a dry guy.
I'm gonna send y'all this sleep sounds playlist so y'all can just go to sleep.
Well, guys, welcome back. I took a little quick tinkle, and we were kind of just talking. Yeah, we're just talking about where these guys are from, what's going on. No, it's okay.
you don't talk. You have dogs? You have dogs?
Will they go pee-pee?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we got to go pee-pee.
That's how I talk to my cat when he's in the litter box. I'm like, there you go, you motherfucker. I piss all over that fucking sand.
Oh, yeah.
You're killing it. Sorry, we have a weird relationship with my cat.
I've permanently just been hit by that because I just grew up with my mom, and then that's just how she talked to like everyone, including like the neighbors' animals. So I'll catch myself talking to myself like the dog. Yeah, like you should go pee. I'll be on a date. I'll be like, baby girl, I gotta go pee real quick. I gotta go pee.
She's like, what?
Yeah,
Right.
she's like, this is a man right here, dude. He's bold enough to talk to me like that.
Keep her.
Yes, ma'am. I wear vests, dude. When's the last time you saw someone this fucking bold, dude?
I knew you were going to bring it up as soon as you took the coat off.
Just wanted to say,
I
dude.
knew the vest was getting
I
brought
could
up.
have just went hoodie. I was like, fuck it, Yoku's coming, bro. I was like,
I like that. I wore one 2 days ago at the show.
hey, it's a game changer, dude.
Yeah, so we had a show the other night at Loudon House. That's why we were shouting out Bryce, plus his art. But yeah, so I do these things called Uninvited. And we did the second installment, Uninvited 2. We had Spencer Diamond. Shout out Spencer Diamond. He's an incredible artist. Enrique Jordan, also brilliant. And then myself. And we had Eli running sound. We had Chris Wheeler come through and do lights. And, bruh, it was a fucking spectacle. Like this.
Now, where was this at, you said?
The Loudon House, which is like an old art museum. And yeah, it's on it's on his side. And it's a kind of small room, but it's decent enough for how many people you think we had in there? I mean, not really, like
40.
40. And I mean, like
That sounds intimate as fuck.
it
Oh,
was
it felt
tight.
it was packed out.
Yeah?
Bruh, but
It was like a little house party.
yeah, it made for a much better experience. Like I really like those type of settings because, bro, like especially when it's people that don't know you and they experience you like that close.
Oh, yeah. That's how you get the fans that go to like 45 Fish concerts that I always hear about.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, facts.
Like-
they follow you on tour.
Yeah, if I ever want to get fans, like all of us getting fans, I want it to be like the Grateful Dead fucking fans. You know what I mean? Like the Fish head. Like I don't know what we got to
You want
do
to
and what
know
acid
them.
we got to sell.
Like I see you in every city.
Yeah, man, exactly.
Yeah.
That's definitely what we're pushing for, and like those type of fans, you know, are the reason that you would even do it. You know what I'm saying?
That's why they're able to put on a show for 3 hours with fingers bleeding. You know what I mean? That's why they're able to fucking, I don't know, keep doing it when they're 65.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
it's fucking.
Yeah. Who's so who's y'all's like favorite artist? Who do y'all listen to on like a daily basis?
Okay.
Man.
I'm a big.
Give me
Dylan,
like a top 5 or something.
Dylan's
we'll
our
go
musical
this
guy.
way.
Yeah, Dylan's the big musical guy.
Definitely Anderson .Paak's probably my
A-Paak,
most
okay.
listened.
Yeah.
Probably my most listened right now. But other than that, I go all over the board. Like JID is one of my favorites right now. His new album is
Amazing.
insane. Like
Yeah, he got some spirituals on there.
yeah, yeah, and like I was gonna say, he talks about real shit and makes it entertaining. Like that's hard to do. That's why I appreciate his artistry so much. But other than that, like I listen to a lot of like offbeat stuff. Like
Yeah. Like what though? That's the stuff I'm really interested in.
I was actually just showed Eli last time me and him were hanging out. Mo Lauda and The Humble is one of my favorites.
Mo Lauda.
Never
But
heard of him.
it's just kind of like a freeform jam band, but like
Hey.
They were good.
The singer is kind of reminiscent of like a who did I compare him to? Kings of Leon, like style.
He does
voice.
have that voice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, is that video that went viral of them like in a living room? I can't remember what they were saying.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. I think I know who you're
because they were
talking
doing.
about.
Yeah, there's a video of them performing Where the Whitetails Go at this really small venue, and everybody loses their
Small
mind.
venue,
Yeah.
man, it creates that.
Yeah.
I bet that was so awesome. So glad
Yeah,
they
because
did
I
that.
actually saw them at the Burrow.
awesome.
And, like,
Oh,
that's-
cool.
That's where I was.
That's
like,
a good
oh,
venue
shit,
right
like,
there.
Let's.
It is, and it gets slept on all the time.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic venue.
Yes.
We've done the Burrow a bunch.
Yeah, I've
No
ran.
Yeah.
shit.
I'll run sound at the Burrow there. The guys that run sound at the Burrow, I've got to know them decently well. And,
Yeah.
the same soundboard I use is pretty much what they have at the Burrow. So
Okay.
with how it is now, you can just take a USB and pull up and just plug it in, and then your whole
Yeah.
all the faders and everything just go right to where it needs to be.
That's dope
Burrow
as
on
shit.
Manchester.
Yeah,
I'm
sick.
about to
Arcade.
ruin Eli for y'all, bro. I've never realized this, but you sound British.
I do.
I
I do.
Me?
I do.
What does he mean with that, Mama?
We're not fancy. You don't have to like
Isn't
church
it?
it up.
Hey, but like,
Yeah.
offered me tea more than once.
facts. He's like that certain type of unique though that you wouldn't question it. Like if he walked in here and he did an accent, we'd all just be like,
All right.
I'd be like, whatever. He likes doing an accent, man.
Too, he looks like he's busting up gangs in
Oh,
fucking
man.
the east side of Loudon.
Yeah, Shay.
Clearly, by the way, I clearly missed the brown jacket, black T-shirt coordination.
Oh, yeah,
here. Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah.
We need to get the.
Y'all like wake up like, hey,
fashion
so what are you
What are you wearing?
What are you wearing?
First thing I texted them when I got off work. Yeah, I was like, all right.
It's funny. Me and Hunter have a bad habit. We always end up matching wherever we go without planning it. Like one time we both showed up to Malone's wearing cowboy boots, blue jeans, and a Metallica shirt. Of all the bands.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, never
Glasses
catch
and
your
a
friend
hat.
masturbating. It just does that. Dude.
We became
One
one.
time I
I
woke
saw
up
his vinegar strokes that day. He started to his soul.
Some Freaky Friday
Yeah.
shit.
That morning I woke up afterwards. I was like, well, that was weird, but God, I want to grow out my beard on my neck.
I walked into his car that day, and he was like, "You don't have to walk me." I was like, "Yeah, dude." I need to walk. Walked right to his car. He said,
Oh, dude, it was afterwards. I was like, when I was leaving, I told Brady, I was like, dude, can we like not make eye contact for a little bit? Like,
Yeah,
we walked out of the car like this, like.
that was the day we knew we were stuck. There's no getting rid of the other. Fuck.
After he walked out of his room and he called me, he smoked a cig and I hit a vape. Like it was just sexual, you know.
You are gonna call me, right? If not, I just cool. I just need to know now.
Yeah. So you guys may know middle names, but he's a bit of a.
I know what gets him off. That's real friend right there.
Yeah, my middle name is 2x4. You know what I mean? Hey, ladies, I'm gonna point to you one more time.
It's not because of size. It's because of distance of shooting load. It's way more impressive, right?
Yeah, they don't call me Yellowstone for nothing, baby. Well, beyond my baby arm, I do.
Yeah,
I do want to say. So, how did this trio get to start knowing each other? And by the way, guys, if you're just now tuning in, by the way, do you guys have like a full like group name, or do you just go clearly as Yoku?
I like to. For me, I think my mentality. I haven't really set, but I think everyone's mentality now is like when I post stuff, it's just like him. It's
Okay.
just him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because to me, it's just like we'll get the accolades as it comes along. That's fine, but I think you have to understand what the roles are to things and like what's the bigger picture here, and it's to project his stuff forward. So
Right.
in the past, I'd get caught up and try to like tag everyone that did stuff with him if for a project or something. But now I'm just like Yoku, boom. Yeah, and if you're involved, you knew it, and you can. It's totally fine to post about it on your own stuff. But
anybody at the top, that's how it is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the right mindset. If you're gonna have a team and the whole team wants to succeed, you know what I'm saying?
You gotta have a team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, like there's artists out there that do a lot, but they still got a team.
yeah,
Oh yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? So
we met. I was working at Apple at the time, and he had gotten hired on, and there's another guy in our clique, Yazoo Motif, and him and I had known each other even longer. We had been,
Is he a Lexington guy as well?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Okay.
And
EJ too.
Yeah, EJ.
Yeah, because I remember within the first week, I knew EJ from college, and EJ was working at Apple with Eli, and they had just started making music.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I got hired on a week into it or something, me and Eli just had a conversation. I remember we were over at the end of the left side of the store. Damn, bro. And we were just talking about some music. He was like, "Yeah, come out to my car after work." I went out to his car. He drove around and played me a song that him and EJ had been working on, and I think Zoo was on there maybe. And I was like, "Damn, I'm trying to slide through, bro." He's like, "All right, cool." So we ended up linking that night, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had EJ, Zoo, and Enrique Jordan come through, and we made Juice came through that night.
That was that same night?
Was that not that same night?
No, I had known you a bit prior.
Because that would have been even crazier from my perspective.
No, but that was short. You came in shortly after. But
So are we
that's
just
when
saying
we
this
had
is the collision of everybody, in a
Thing
way?
is fate.
Okay.
around that time.
So you guys were
8
saying during
years
this time
ago.
period, everyone just finally meshed.
Because at the time
It was
Yeah.
the beginnings of the bigger crew.
we
Okay.
had a little clique name back then called Harvard Drive, because that's where my house was.
Yeah.
And my beginning studio was in the basement of my parents' house, and that's where we were trying to figure all this stuff out. I didn't know shit. I was just trying to figure stuff out as I went, as far as computer and engineering and stuff.
We know the pain.
Oh man, and and I guess everyone was kind of still performing on that same level for what they were doing in the group too. But we all understood it was like a yin yang thing. I'll try better on this, so you can try better on that, and then we just kept going. Yeah. But it was around that time, and then shortly, I don't know, maybe a year or something into that, I got linked up with a guy. He had a music store on Southland Drive. And he let me use and help him with his little studio he had upstairs.
Was his name Dawson?
No.
Okay.
And
Shut the fuck up.
Sorry, if I didn't ask then, it was going
Is
to leave
his
my
name
head.
Dawson?
I know. I just know
Eli,
a
I'm
guy that
sorry.
fits that description. I'm sorry, Eli.
It's hard to find help these days.
I'm
Jesus
sorry. If I
Christ.
didn't ask right there, bro, I'm sorry.
his name wasn't Dawson.
It was going to bother me while I was
He
laying
just
in
popped
bed.
the corner. He said, "No, he's not."
Rubbish.
Oh shit!
I thought Eli was about to go back like this.
Gosh.
This fucker right here, huh?
Fuck.
If anything, it means I'm into the story.
Right.
Man.
Yeah.
I'm listening.
But it was the top of this story is hilarious because we had the first night we actually had Juice come through. And it was a big group of us, and the vibes were going. And in the studio, you always get the question "Do you guys smoke in here?" Yeah, and I was like, at the time,
that guy.
we were coasting.
North side, baby.
I was drinking a little bit. I was like, "Yeah, fuck it, let's go ahead." Well, we have a great session. I think that's when all the bonds got solidified, that
awesome,
night.
man.
But I get a call the next day from the studio owner, and he's like, "I got to give a guitar lesson up here to a 10-year-old girl, and it smells like gas."
We were out of that studio.
Seriously, that day on my lunch break, me and Yazoo went and loaded my car with all the shit.
Get the fuck out.
Sorry.
The studio, it was basically you guys had all known kind of mutual people that led you to that thing.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It was like a party, and then what? You guys all took it back to the studio? Is that what I'm hearing?
Well, we had as just a normal session. We were like, "Hey,
gotcha.
after work, come to the studio that I'm at." And then tonight happens to be the night that I guess my sister or someone finally made the connection happen to where I was like,
Shooter. Yeah. It's funny that's his name, Shooter McGavin. Shooter.
Yeah.
But he does a lot of the big videos around here, and he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna go meet this guy at his studio. His name's Eli." And I was like, "Masharbish?" He's like, "Yeah." And I was like, funny. His sister's been trying to get me to meet up with him for years.
"So let's go."
Yeah, right. So I was
Debate on
like,
whether
"Yeah,
to go or not.
I'll roll with you." And then I showed up, and just I remember being really just impressed with everything I was hearing, and I was like, because I worked on Fruity Loops. I worked on Fruity Loops at the time. Right?
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And then after like he worked on Logic, and I was just like I saw something like what he was doing, and
Little audacity
that
in
actually
the
was
day.
the night I stopped working on Fruity Loops and started working on Logic.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Then I started bugging him every day, like, "Hey, dude, I just started working on Logic. How do I turn
This
it
is all
on?"
software you guys were talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah,
Software.
right. How do I turn this on?
The amount of times I've been there, dude. That's awesome.
You should have set this camera in the beginning. I was just looking. I was like, "Is it working yet? The cap's still on."
I really didn't mind, especially at the time, because like sometimes I didn't even know the answer, but I was like, I guess I knew enough.
You guys grew it together.
To know
You-
how to
you found
find
the
the
answers
answers and stuff.
together.
Yeah, so that just kept work going and conversation going. And hey, did you see this cool shit that was on the program I didn't know about? Then like, yeah, we learned that. And then boom, next time you're actually in a session with the artist, then you're actually applying that kind of stuff. And that's kind of how just like we were sharpening swords. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like everybody was just really on top of their game with just figuring
Hell
new shit
yes,
out,
man.
yeah.
And it's during that seemed like that pivotal period. And if you're just now turning in, we're with Lexington's local artist, rapper, and his two producers. And they are going under his name is Yoku. So he is based. You say you're definitely based out of Lexington, right? I know you said you have your Louisville roots, but do you still kind of find that you're more of a Louisville kid? Kentucky.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
L's down.
L's
baby.
down.
if
Always.
L's down,
Sorry,
baby.
I gotta say it.
We're
I
gonna
can't.
do- So I got
502 who? Sorry. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
it's rough for me because I got my Louisville ties, and then
Well, absolutely.
I went to UK and like graduated from there. I played baseball there, and like so I have these deep ties on both sides of it. I'm talking like when I was a kid, bro, and like Louisville would lose in any sport, I would cry. Like I was a diehard card.
Oh, these two guys. Anytime I talk sports with them, that's another podcast y'all should sit in for. Just watching me trying to act like I know shit. But
Hey,
That's
we'll
fun.
definitely jump in on that one
dude.
too, bro. On that one
No.
too. We
Who
love
But,
did
that.
you root for on Saturday in the Governor's Cup?
I
Kentucky
don't.
versus
I just watch it. Like I just.
You can say this is a safe space. You can say you really truly
who'd you
rooted
vote
for.
for, Yoku?
I don't. I just
Yeah,
watch
it's
it.
someone
All right,
in
I
your
respect
heart.
it.
Like I just when it comes to those games, bro, I just hope for a good game. Like you know
Right.
what I'm saying?
And
Like,
it was a good game.
yeah. They always play at this time of the year. You're with family and shit like that. It's your spirits are high. Like for me, I remember times where all I could ask for Christmas was just a good Louisville, Kentucky game.
That's the most wholesome Kentucky thing I've ever
know what I'm
heard.
saying,
I've,
bro? But,
I've
like,
never respected a statement so much in my life.
That's how deep the ties are. Like
I feel you, man.
That is, to me, being where we're from, like I think it's the dopest rivalry because I always am gonna feel like Louisville was underrated. You know what I'm saying?
I feel
Like,
that.
And being from there, like I feel like it's a big city. Like we're under.
I forget how
more-
big Louisville is, man.
Louisville's
Bro, it's
huge.
huge. You know what I'm saying? And the vibes that it gives you is big city vibes.
Yeah.
So like I love that people are coming from there and like putting respect on the name because like it deserves it. Like Louisville it's like weird in its own right and really dope and just continuing to grow. Like
So I hate that Paris isn't here for this because this is a conversation topic he likes to bring up a lot. What is it that keeps you? Because I know you all have went out to California. Like
Sac.
what? Yeah, Sacramento. What is it that about this area that keeps you all around? Because like we like to talk to different artists. We talk to comedians and stuff where we're like, why? What keeps you staying here, and like, why do you want to build something here? Like, why is that important to you?
Yeah, I know all three of us will have like a different answer.
I want to hear them all.
Yeah.
I'll let y'all from here.
Yeah. So I mean, number one, I love it here. All right, I've traveled a lot of places. My roots are here. My family's here, and there's also a bountiful amount of opportunity, surprisingly, out of this area as well. That number one, I'm lucky to be able to be a part of because of how long I've been doing the things I've been doing. But man, I've always been a big believer in like let opportunity take you where you're supposed to be, right? Like gravity is going to pull you where you need to be always, right? Like I've seen so many people in my history like go places for the point of going there in the hopes that move will be the big catalyst that catapults them, right? And I mean, maybe back in the day before social media and the internet existed, that's what you had to do, right? Yeah. But now you are like a click away or an inbox away from talking with people. Like, why not just move out there and organically make the relationship, talk to somebody, and then stay in contact with them with the resources that you have without having to uproot yourself from your comfort zone, right? And then when it's necessary and you need to be where you're supposed to be, you'll go there.
You know what I mean? So I like traveling. I like where I'm at here. I like being close to my family and my roots, but being able to go out and experience other cities and cultures and stuff. So that's how I've always
It's
looked at
also
it.
nice to always have your home base. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty similar to mine. I think it's like a logistic thing too. I mean, what we're doing is not. It's kind of expensive in its own right, and just being able to have those resources just here, like me and him, we live together, and that keeps things, overhead, So if you want to talk like
Yeah, we've talked about that. It seems having that constant influence on each other.
Yeah.
Is extremely important.
Yeah, so when you talk about that like logistics side of things, and I don't know, it's just for me to kind of emphasize on the internet thing. It's something I'm not even utilizing totally yet. Thankfully, I've had such a good client. I work with other artists here too as a business for a studio, but I've had enough clientele to really keep going in town. But I think just with the idea of just like promoting yourself properly online and just staying up with that front, and then people when you learn how to use Google Flights and can take those trips for pretty cost effective. I mean, it's just almost as good just to go out there and make those trips and come out. You can make multiple trips: Dallas, Denver, Miami. We've done all that. Coming soon, I think we're going to pick it up again. It's something we've actually been in dialogue about a lot lately, is let's kind of get back out there again, because a lot of cool stuff happens. Even if you go and nothing really, I guess, 100% solidifies itself while you were there, you have the environment and the influence of the new surroundings to create like a new song or something while you're there. And I think that's huge too.
I did want to hit on what you and Juice both said, Eli. Is like I almost find it cooler in the aspect of how many people tell you that they're working out in LA. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How many people? I feel like when you find those guys that have that sound, guess what? They're fucking Kentucky boys.
Yeah. I've definitely
I mean?
experienced that kind of like, you see people like perk up when
They're gonna remember that guy,
Right,
instead
they're
of the 45th
they're like,
LA
where's-
guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not that
like,
there's anything wrong with that.
No. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Like you tell them, like, yeah, they hit you up on Instagram or something. You're like, yeah, I'm they're like, are you in LA? I'm like, no, I'm in Kentucky. They're like, what? I'm like, yeah.
If I can kind of hit on what you guys are, go ahead.
Let Yoku tell his side.
Oh shit, Yoku, I was getting in that. Go ahead, Yoku, tell me.
I was waiting for whatever was next.
No, but I do, because I feel like what you guys are hitting on, this point of being here. Like I've seen that in comedy as well, but I do want to hear yours, because otherwise I'll go on a tangent with a button for it.
Yeah, I mean, for me, we have moved across the country and lived other places and been a lot of places and done this a lot everywhere. But like Kentucky in itself, more so Lexington, is just, it's the dojo. You know what I'm saying? It's like, for them, it's family. So you know what I'm saying? They get family, they get work. We get a lot of shit done. We're doing shit that big artists do. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like it may be in a 40, 50 person room cap, but I'm telling you, like, as soon as the marketing and the money is applied, then you're just adding water and shit. You got the shit.
Yeah.
So, Lexington is the dojo. I'm an hour and a half away from the crib. I get to go see my family. So I like being here. Down the road, we'll have houses in other places.
Yeah.
So we'll be able to
Make it easier,
enjoy that shit. But there's nothing like being home. So,
Well, and look at y'all too. Like, if it's anything, I feel like we should appreciate with our Kentucky roots. And thankfully, I'm glad, we all have this one thing, and it seems like all of us here have that commonality of family. You know what I mean? Like, family is what I feel like is on the forefront of all of our minds most of the time. You know
I
what
feel
I
like
mean?
Lexington's a big creative melting pot. Like, I feel like there's so much creativity in the city. Like, people starting a podcast or music or
Well, and it's the
comedy
biggest
scene's
small
real
town
big
you ever
here,
go
too.
to.
Oh,
You know
yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean? Like, so you have the ability to, say, run into a great artist or a great producing squad or guys with a podcast. You know what I mean? And it doesn't feel as, I don't know, like
Intimidating.
because I can tell you my favorite road to where we would take, go out on cut. You know what I mean? Like, and we're all be like, oh, I remember that one, or fucking North Side over here. You know what I mean? Like,
I would say, like, that's the beauty of Kentucky, is like it really is the middle of the road. Like, you get a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and like it's just like a great little melting pot.
Then you go to these small counties in Kentucky, you feel like you're in the movie Wrong Turn. They might eat me
Hello
here.
there.
Harlan.
I don't go to those small counties.
Don't. They're scary, man.
Yeah.
And I think I'm a little country guy. I'll be going through some of these counties like, doors locked, windows up. Like,
Yeah, no, I'm cool.
I chipped a tooth on the way back from vacation.
That sounded painful.
Oh, it was at the very front one too, so it was no hiding my ignorance.
No.
And it was on a bottle of New Amsterdam that I took to the face without the cap on. It was a great next to 3 days, but
I'm glad you went with that story, not the surfboard story.
yeah, we'll be honest. I told people that was from a surfing accident instead of alcoholism. But I am. The reason why I say it is because we're going through these back towns in Tennessee, and the thing is, it's so gorgeous, but it's so ironic because it's so trashy, and like it's like this kind of, it's almost kind of artistic in a way to where I see this beautiful mountaintop encroaching on this trailer park that just looks like a good time, but also a really bad time. You know what I mean? But I went through there and I stopped for gas. I didn't have any teeth. My buddy came in there and they were being really rude to him. I came up and he grabbed my shoulder. He's like, "What's up, man?" And I was like, the dude who owned the gas station. I was like, "It's all good, baby." You know what I mean? Like, so there's definitely some family out there. I just, you know. But
That's such an outside of the city Kentucky move, like the shoulder grab.
Oh, yeah, man.
Yeah, total stranger, and that's like how you greet someone in Winchester. You know, it's like, "Hey, man, how you doing?" Speaking of Winchester, talking about like places outside of Lexington, I went to the gas station. There was a pool table inside the gas station.
Oh, yeah, man.
Only in other counties.
that is the clutchest move I've ever heard while waiting for a pump.
There's a gas station in Nicholsville where you can still smoke cigarettes inside.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I went to buy a Golden Corral that had a smoking section. I sat in it. I was
Just for fun.
I would have sat Gold Crown without a
Yeah,
smoking
dude.
section.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
Gold Crown.
Fucking
Give me like early 2000s Applebee's vibes.
Oh,
Golden Corral
Oh,
smoking.
dude.
We don't hate
Smoking
on Applebee's in
section,
this
even though it's
podcast,
1
guys.
foot away with this thin of a wall. My
Nothing
6-year-old,
like-
there you go, Bobby.
Teriyaki chicken, mashed potatoes, spaghetti, and marbles.
You want your
I haven't seen one in like.
Hold on, you telling me you ain't hit the 2 for $20 recently?
Quesadilla burger?
Dude, the quesadilla
Fiesta
burger's
line
phenomenal.
chicken?
Where?
The quesadilla burger. Dude, we've talked about it every pod.
Where's there?
Leestown Road.
Leestown Road. We're way too quick.
You guys want to go one night?
All three of
Is
us.
anybody else down?
Hey, I know a deal when I see one, guys. All right? We're speaking of budgets. I can't afford a Google flight and eat a steak for $10.
And they're open
Get the
till
fuck
11.
outta
I'm
here.
just saying. They're open till 11. Throw it out there.
Shit.
Bro, shout out to whoever created that quesadilla burger. 'Cause
That's
that,
one of the best burgers.
They
Oh.
was high as fuck.
Oh, that was a
They
cook.
were-
That was a cook that dropped the quesadilla on the burger and was like, "Guys, don't move. Don't move."
Mayo, lettuce, tomato, quesadilla.
Yes, dude. He
was a
owns
chef. He
Applebee's now.
That's right.
Yeah.
He's the reason they're still in business somehow.
Thomas Appleby.
Now that sounds English. Thomas Appleby.
Thomas Appleby.
Unknown by first name basis. But I was gonna say, so speaking of like really owning this area that we're in, because people forget about it, man. Because you know I was doing comedy, and you know we're all trying to get more into comedy because I don't know. I feel like that's our avenue. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And when I was doing it, I was actually doing most of it out in Winchester, which that was a crowd. That was.
Great place.
I was out there and I was like, probably shouldn't have brought up elections right now. But we were out there and
Byron. Where's that guy?
and every time my name Hunter comes up, like Biden, I was like, you got it.
Yeah,
You nailed it.
that one.
But it was just funny because I was this guy from. Have you guys ever heard of Second City in Chicago? So they are they are the feeder to Saturday Night Live.
Oh, that's
And,
sick.
Yeah, so they're like they base
SNL
on
has leagues.
yeah, it's exactly. It's
Wow.
like
Yeah, they have Division 2 and Division 3. and
Right.
shit.
I was definitely going for NIT for sure. But we were a guy had come into the restaurant at Drake's because we all worked at Drake's and Malone's over there. I said it out loud. Fuck. But we were over there and he came in and my buddy knew him. He used to do some stand up out there and got really big until he had a child and couldn't do the stuff. You know, it just happens sometimes. But he still kept in good connection with him. A guy came out there and I was talking to him and he was asking me, well, you want to do all this? What have you done? And I was like, well, I really want to do it. Everyone wants to do it. What have you done? You know what I mean? And he's like, do you have anything to show me? And I was like, well, I've done my shows. I was just looking for advice. He goes, everyone's advice, but the ones who go after it create their own advice. You know what I mean? And he was saying, he goes, dude, you're in a market where people don't take advantage. Everyone wants to go to California. Everyone wants to do this, which, of course, it's a great network of people there and connections. But he said, you got Tennessee, you got Nashville, you got Knoxville.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you want to go even further, you can hit North Carolina. You can hit, you know what I mean? You can hit Atlanta.
Yeah.
He says it's all right there. And no one's really taking advantage of that.
Yeah, we came to that realization when we were living in Sacramento because we would take flights or drive actually often to LA, but LA to Sacramento is 6 hours. Right. And so we were doing that and we were just thinking like, bro, like back home we could we could have been in
hit 2
Cincinnati,
states.
no problem. That
Yeah.
hour drive is literally nothing in perception now. And then like you said, like Nashville or Knoxville, Atlanta and things in between, just go east or west from there,
Yeah, and it is a pocket, man, because I always get like it's exhausting sometimes because I see so many people that decide to leave this network of stuff. Because think about it, 6 hours, dude, that's crazy. You could have set up a whole tour.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
6 hours, that's Chicago. Like,
Yeah, for sure. Chicago's popping too. I mean, we're so close to a lot of big cities: St. Louis, Chicago, Cincinnati, Nashville, Indianapolis,
Indies.
Atlanta, Georgia.
And they're musical cities too.
oh,
Oh
absolutely.
yeah.
Charlotte, North Carolina. That's
Yeah.
like 8 maybe.
Yeah.
Is it?
It's like 6 actually.
Yeah. So like we're in the center of a opportunist.
Yeah, I feel like I'm probably gonna chill for a little bit on doing shows in Lexington. Just we've done a lot. I'm not gonna stop like working on my crappy hip because I have a blessing of being able to go somewhere and actually like practice. So we won't be losing out on like taking any strides with that. But it's time to get out. I mean, it's been time, but it's the product needs to be able to touch other places and like. But that takes a lot of networking. Just going and doing a show somewhere. Obviously, every one fan counts.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? You want to go somewhere and like make it really
Biggest
productive.
impact. Yeah.
Well, and you all have become some of my favorite people to bring up when I'm talking about people that don't get the notoriety they deserve, because it's everything with you all. Like the production value's there, the creative element is there, like the content itself is there, and so that like I don't hesitate, because if anybody goes through your discography, they're gonna find something that they vibe with. Like there's a little something for everybody in there. Like,
I think it's interesting too with that element. Just kind of gets me thinking. Like every artist will say, like, "Yeah, we got some more stuff coming out." He's already thinking,
Hella, bro.
but it's crazy because the stuff we have out. I feel like each time that has been released to the public, that has been works that had been. Yeah, prior to that even.
oh yeah,
And even the American manga coming out, it's we've been working on that one for a while too. I don't feel like there's much. I don't think time has lost any of that one per se.
Yeah.
There was, and not even to say that for our previous stuff, but between the stuff that you already can hear on Spotify's out now, and when it actually got released from when it was made. That was a specific time that we kept leveling up so fast.
Oh,
You can hear
because
it
I
throughout the
remember
project.
I remember the first time you all ever played me something from Aurora Borealis, and then by the time it came out, I had heard so much new stuff. I was like, "You got to keep going."
and
I
that's
listened to that song today. It's a dope song, by the way.
Oh,
I was
Borealis?
listening.
Borealis?
I listened to some of your shit today, man, and it's not the kind of rap I listen to, but I was really digging it. And my brother was like, "Who you interviewing?" And I sent it to my brother. My brother's like, I fuck with that
Right,
shit.
yeah,
Man. There's
yeah.
a few, like, it's very, I like it, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Y'all got some good shit out
It's
there.
just real, bro.
Yeah.
Like, that one is just like, me talking about like my friends and like, my growth. Like, it really sums up the album because it really embodies growth. And like, it's funny because this show that we just did the other night, it was based on that project.
Okay.
Or Gold. So,
yeah, the stage setting was
Yeah.
crazy. Not to cut you off, but yeah.
The front of the album has like a couple of like TPs and like tents and stuff like that on the front. with the blue and green, like
Yeah.
Aurora Borealis.
Is that the
light,
the
yeah.
Loud House?
Yeah.
at the Loud House. So
Set that-
so Chris Wheeler had that shit lit up with those colors, and like we built teepees.
That's
Set it
dope
up.
as shit.
Like,
man.
you know what I'm saying?
And that was another thing about that show, even though it was like very small and like intimate between the lights and the sound, it was like, I mean, seriously, it's as good as you'd want to
I
hear
bet the
it
crowd
anywhere.
was so into it.
Oh,
It was
yeah,
I
it
bet it was
was.
so much fun.
People were like
We get-
tranced out.
we get
Yeah, they're
we
like-
get zombie crowds, bro, because people haven't experienced like
Right.
this type of shit. Like, you know, every now and then, like you'll get them going, but for the most part, like especially the songs that we're playing,
They're soaking
Like,
it.
I
there's-
literally called
Yeah.
him the day after the show. I was like, dude, that was so good. I was like, if there's any feedback I could give, and it's not even negative feedback, it'd be like, I looked and saw the crowd. They were just like not moving. They were just like staring.
Yeah, soaking it in.
You
Like,
know?
oh, this shit's good.
Literally, I was like, I think they were just staring. I was like, I don't know if we need to add some like drums or something in between some of the songs, but I think it was that they were staring, like standing and staring because they were bored. They was like the whole
No, they
production
weren't
value
like,
of
it
the
wasn't
show.
like conversations going.
Yeah, it was like they were like literally watching and taking it in as for what it was.
That's dope as shit.
You know, and a lot of his music really reflects that too. Like it's not a lot of, you know, it doesn't sound like a lot of this new rap that you'll hear, right? It's a lot of substance, and a lot of times, even on the Aurora Borealis song, me and him, like when that song was made, I actually had like a disagreement, but he was like, yo, we take the front part of that beat off, like I don't want any drums. I was like, bro, no, I'm not taking the drums out.
I'm like, bro,
Yeah, I'm not taking the drums out.
bro, please, for the art.
Bro, I was like, bro, I'll take that beat back. And he's like, so you're gonna make me write to the drum part of the beat? I was like, yes. And then behind the music, Aurora Borealis.
That's what's so, you know, I want to hit on the point too, to where it's like, to where you guys were saying about how you created this set. I think they were just so shocked that they went to this show expecting a rap show.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
And then on top of that too, it's like, you know, it's the journey for all of this, to where when you guys are going to be there, it's going, do you remember when we were making teepees, dude?
Right.
You know what I mean?
I feel you, yeah.
And now you're at the point now to where, like, because I enjoyed it so much with Paris and Brady and Dylan, where I'm like, I'll sit here and be like, I don't like it. You know what I mean? Like there's, and then like we're just all kind of talking about, okay, well, why? You know what I mean? And then it's more or less what I enjoy about an aspect as well is that
Amateur.
Oh, it's fun.
Oh, okay, that's the timer. I'll take it back.
I think it may slide up as well. I think that iPhone may slide.
What's the SE?
I was
It's
waiting
a
to
home
see y'all
button.
fuck up. Y'all was killing it, bro. Y'all been.
We've been
killing
doing.
this shit.
Thanks, man. We needed that.
Yeah, we needed
The
that.
timer ruined it all.
Oh, no.
Thanks, man.
Thanks,
y'all
man.
What happened?
Well, kind of to what you guys are saying too. It's, you know, it's one of the things where like this is our baby. You know what I mean? Like
We all have a
can tell.
role. We've all established, you know, what we do. Like I'm the funny observational fat guy, and I just get everyone high. You know,
hey,
Hunter
full
asks the
figured in
questions.
this house, baby.
Oh, thanks, man. We're gonna smoke next break.
Yeah. Okay. All
Thanks,
right.
man.
Cross joint.
Yeah. Dude, that's a huge compliment, man.
I was gonna say too. I haven't got a Sudeikis in a while. That's a
That's
fucking
good.
fire
Oh,
too.
dude,
I'll
yeah.
take that.
I'm a big Jason Sudeikis fan, man.
Oh, I
take
Love
it.
You, Man is one
watched-
of the greatest comedy movies ever.
Bro, Ted Lasso
Dude,
is fire.
Oh, I'm
we
thinking
talk
of
about
different
practice.
Jason.
Sorry,
I'm
that's
thinking of
good.
Jason Segel. I suck. Oh, sorry. Think of a different Jason.
Yeah,
Everyone knows that.
absolutely.
We're still Jason Segel fans too.
Let's shout out Jason Sudeikis.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I know you've been getting my emails. I know you have, dude. But you know, to the same point too, to where, you know, it's that journey that you take, and it's these little things you pick up along the way, and you know, I wanted to cut back real quick because I took us on a tangent with, you know, favorite music and stuff. But it's like, you know, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Phoenix. Okay, it's like an indie band.
Yeah,
It's
Phoenix.
Yeah, Phoenix. Like they had an album called Amadeus Wolfgang, and it's just such a different sound that I had heard. You know what I mean?
What was their big song? It was like 1942. Or
Yeah,
what?
you nailed it,
Is
man.
that it?
1942 and Lasso on
Yeah.
there.
So yeah, it was very good stuff.
That's all on that album.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Do
fantastic.
they only have one album?
No, they're pretty big. They've got a bunch. Like for instance, another one on there is called like Orange Bloom, and it's really good. But it's just I brought it up because just I'm listening to it expecting something, and that's where I was completely thrown aside of what my expectations was, because even though I wasn't expecting this, it's not that I didn't like it. So
Yeah.
it's like you go into an artist, like when I was listening to you today, I was like, okay, well, this song almost was way different from this song. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it was just nice. So, you know, speaking of some of our favorites, where are you guys kind of pulling, like, you know, your energy, your confidence from? You know what I mean?
Man, bro, like, for me, I've just, so I love going to shows. Like, that's kind of what we do, is we go to shows, bro. And over these past few years, we just saw some people that have changed my DNA. Like,
like small shows or big shows?
Bigger ones.
Bigger
shows.
ones,
Okay.
Yeah, like,
Big Steppers tour.
Yeah, we got to see. We just went and seen Kendrick and Keem. Now, the first time we seen Keem was in Atlanta.
Oh, man.
It was at this venue called Tabernacle, and we were tripping balls. Bro. So we're tripping balls, and anyway, long story short, we get to the venue. The fucking DJ has the place so rowdy, the floor is literally bending, bro.
It was like the house is breathing.
Bruh, we walk in, the floor's literally
That might have
bending.
been
We're
the
like,
mushrooms.
No, it was.
no. It was sober as could be. Eli's like, what the fuck?
Right.
So we go upstairs, walk in, elation. It's the best shit ever. We were wondering who was gonna open up. It ended up being this dude named Tana Leone, who they had just signed to PG Lang, which is their new label.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Tana comes out. He's from Atlanta, and he just fucking kills it, bro. Mm-hmm. So everybody's on 10. Keem comes out, and he has this very, like, simple but intricate set design. It's just 2 LED screens, and they are fucking us up, bro. Like, I'm talking like we were gone. We were gone from this earth, bro. Like, yeah, facts, bro. Like, facts.
Keem had some of the most like crowd hype music, and like a couple times I caught myself like I had like a bottle of water, and one time I remember I got so in the trance, like I held my bottle of water sideways, water was just spilling out at my feet. Yeah, dude, I was so out of it. But I was staring at the crowd, and like the crowd, I could just see the wave of people, and I'm just like mouth open, like,
yeah, bro. It was
bizarre. It was awesome.
So that concert changed my. I mean, I'm already living in that artistry space of that look and that feel and that sound. But basically, it helped me formulate what I want my tour to look like. So, you know, everything that we do is all preparation for the moment. Like, literally, I have a bar: preparation versus execution. Like, when it's time to execute, bruh, this has not been done before. Mm-hmm. You know, it's all very new, and like the experience is gonna be crazy. But yeah, so for me, like my biggest influences, I would say definitely Keem and Kendrick, Travis, Drake, Tyler, the Creator.
You have some influences outside of rap as well that kind of.
Oh yeah, I mean
Alabama Shakes.
I mean, like, yeah, I love like people who got them strong ass vocals, bro. Like,
I've been listening to this girl named Sierra Farrell. She's so good.
070 Shake.
070 Shake.
I've heard of them. They're good.
Jungle's
dope.
I don't know if you heard of them.
Been on some
Alan
Black Pumas
Stone.
lately.
Yeah,
We'll post all these on there.
Yeah.
yeah.
Now I'm definitely interested.
Tame Impala.
Tame Impala's a big one.
Well, I think too. Kind of think about how rap itself has changed with its shows. You go to 2002 or 2005, it's a hype guy.
Yeah.
And
Well, that was
then
the crunk
you
era.
know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
just the, you know, we're talking knee-high capris with them basketball and ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Number one song then was Yeah with Ludacris.
yes,
and
dude.
Usher.
And
Yeah.
now,
Yeah, it's all.
but now
he's not
it's-
as much.
just think about the art that goes behind it. And technology is a big part of that. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
I-
Money.
yeah.
Yeah, I was in a band that toured around before I met these guys. That's kind of what got me started in the studio, because you were more self-reliant as a engineer and producer at the time, and we had just, the band had just ended that I was in, but I was on tours and I saw tons of venues and saw their like in-house operations of like what went on for like shows.
But that was huge for you.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I, looking back at it, that really got me like buzzing hard. You don't realize that as much in the moment, but I'm sure there was just multiple times where I would just stare at soundboards and it's like, even though I was performing that night, I was like, what? All this shit's cool to me.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I think a big thing, especially in the last like year and a half when we really started hitting our shows, I was like, yeah, man, like we're not putting your main vocals in the music that plays. Like a lot of times I see that, and for me, I'm like,
Even in bigger artists.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I know, like, for me, there's plenty of times where I'd been at shows, and the rare occasion that didn't happen and the person killed it, I was always just like, yo, God, that was good. You know what I mean? So I was like, I have to bring that.
It's much more of like you're making a connection with your audience because they're not hearing a backtrack, right? Like
No.
they're hearing you perform.
Right.
Yeah.
But listen, I will say, my goal is to get so big that we just throwing parties. Like, it's just a fucking party on stage. We just play that shit and they just go nuts. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just
Balance.
to
Yeah.
it. You know what I'm saying? And we'll achieve that balance.
That's always been one of my favorite parts about your music, though, is like hearing your music and then seeing you live is a different animal, like entirely, because your live performance is so emotionally driven that like it's not gonna be what's on the record, like it's never gonna be, and that's a good thing. Like that. That's what I appreciate about your artistry.
That's you know, we take pride in that, bro.
I was gonna say, and that's another reason. One of my favorite things that you all do is you all will post you practicing your live performances, and I love watching those videos because you can tell you're every part of your performance is broken down. It's analyzed on a very specific level to where like you know what you're doing and you know the emotions you're taking that crowd on like that.
It's the preparation's so killer though, because there's times where I can't even say you mess up. There's just times where I realize something has happened that has thrown him off what he would have typically done in a moment, but where he has such a root foundation of rehearsal and like what the center line of what that performance should be, he can like yo-yo off of that and just fly out and then come back to the center real quick and just make it artistic in the moment on the fly.
And I think seeing that probably happens so much other places as well. But I think that those are those practices showing up. Like if something does mess up, it's quickly caught and it's not even noticeable to the people that are there.
Sometimes it makes it cool as fuck. It's like
Would you say it's almost like a form of improv in a way that you gotta
So wait, are you do you do stand up comedy or something?
Yeah. So
I'm a huge fan of stand up, by the way. That's like my
No, that's dope. That's dope. My cousin, he also does that, and his dad was actually talking about trying to put on like a comedy show. So
no, please, keep us in the loop. And I'm telling this man all the time. You know Brady. I feel like you've met him a hand.
We probably have met before. Passing.
But he is one of the funniest people you will ever meet. And Dylan's one of the most like it's whenever Dylan does pop off and say something, I'm like, what the fuck?
Keith.
Yeah, Keith, dude. That's his new drunk persona. We're definitely using. Dude, you're being a real fucking Keith right now.
I don't care. You have a pension.
Yeah.
Like I don't.
But so what?
Right.
We've hit music and stuff, and I don't want to keep you guys here forever, but I do want to also say that's crazy that you are also an athlete. Do you feel like that kind of fades into like your ability to do? I think you guys are all massive dudes. I feel like you're all athletes. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I feel like, do you think that has an influence on how you guys kind of drive yourself in that at all, or is it just kind of?
For sure. I mean, I've been playing sports since I was 3 years old. So, like, that's the foundation for me is, like, whatever you want to be good at, you're just always doing it. So, that goes into, like, the practice and the preparation. Like, I'm just used to, like, repetition for things. Like, I'm not, like, I'm okay with saying that, like, I'm not going to step in the booth and just rip shit on the first time. Like, that's okay. Like, Eli got patience. He's gonna let me do my shit, like, but we gonna, he got drums, like, he like, he's out there beating on a box, like, shut the fuck up.
We're trying to record. I'm in there.
Take it out.
Don't tell me to take it out.
Oh God, man. Yeah. So, I actually referee basketball right now too.
Really?
No shit.
Yeah, this is my first year doing it, and bro, you want to talk about like putting yourself in a space where you're just new, because it's like I had one scrimmage, like one middle school scrimmage before they were like, "Here you go," And bro, the very
Whistle
first
and
game,
everything.
bro, the very first game, the coach comes out to meet me at half court. He's like, why do they have 6 fouls to our 0? And they're getting blown out. And I'm like, he was like, what do you see? And I'm like,
Quit fouling.
I was like,
Y'all keep cheating, man.
I was
Y'all
like,
quit
bro,
cheating, I quit calling.
I'm seeing everything right now. He's like, true. Because I told him before the game.
True.
I told him before the game, I'm like, bro, this is literally my first game.
I think that's like the worst thing you can say as a referee to somebody, to like a coach. Like, hey, look, sorry, it's my first game.
They're gonna take full advantage. I could get them to switch this.
Oh yeah, it was terrible. Yeah,
Sorry,
and
I messed up this steak.
right.
Man.
I just started cooking today. Like,
That's a technical.
One of my favorite things. Me and Eli met in the most random way possible. Like
Yeah, 'cause you guys
literally,
know each other fairly well.
literally a random ass house party at my old apartment where like I barely knew the guys I was living with. And then one night we have a big ass house party. A couple people come over, and just in the middle of this party, Morgan, one of the girls that was dating one of the guys that I lived with, she walks up to me and she goes, "You're trying to do some music stuff now, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, like
Yeah.
what of it?" And she goes, "Well, you need to meet Eli." And I'm like, "What?"
Like that British guy?
cheerio.
Music, ain't it?
Give a
out of
mandolin
nowhere-
here.
out of nowhere, me and Eli talk music for like 30 minutes, and like I realized, like, okay, like I can vibe with this guy, whatever. And so probably 2 weeks later, I come over to his house, and that's when he had the studio set up in his basement. And how he introduced me to Yoku, I don't even think it was Yoku at that point. It wasn't, right?
It was Stoop.
Yeah, it was Stoop. Yeah. And so I walk in, and he's like, "Yeah, like one of the guys that is recording me right now, he's about to come over. Like he plays baseball at UK because he knew I was a baseball guy. Like that's another thing we had talked about." And I was like, "Oh, like okay,
Yeah.
like make your money how you got to make your money, you know, whatever." And then you came over, and within 5 minutes, I was like, "Oh, these guys are up to something."
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that's what I think is so cool from my perspective is like the growth that I've seen, and like you all, like people have got to take you seriously.
Oh
at
yeah,
this point. Like,
it's coming. Yeah.
Like I said, man, we've been blessed enough to be in some rooms where we've gotten like validated.
yeah,
Like,
Oh, yeah,
like-
for
like,
sure.
Truly, like, hey, y'all got it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it really is just like, some days are harder than others. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, always.
But being able to like just tap in and like getting the like today, we made some new shit today. We ain't made no new shit in a minute. Like everybody
Yeah.
just been like busy like trying to just like make all this presentation stuff that
Yeah.
we haven't really recorded much, but that's where this process of me dropping singles and shit is coming in, because we got a lot of shit to put out, and then like I feel like I'm running this race of trying to get caught up with putting out the stuff that needs to be put out and then making
Yeah.
new shit. So it's
Well,
like once we all meet in the middle, fans and me,
yeah.
it's gonna be a good time.
Well, look, no spoiler alerts, but that's my favorite thing about hanging out with Eli is I get to hear
Oh,
a
yeah.
couple things early.
Oh
already
yeah.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
You already
Stay
know,
tuned because it's coming. So.
Yeah, no doubt. I appreciate that.
Well, guys, I hate to shift this from music, but there's a very important question we've asked every episode of the podcast.
Oh
Here we go.
shit.
And we have to ask all three of you. I hope all three of you have an answer.
Here we
It's
go.
a very important question.
All right, here it goes.
Everyone's always answered. You don't have to answer it, though.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna
But
answer it.
are you guys dry guys or lotion guys when you jerk off? This is one of the most important questions we've asked every episode. We're going to
Soap.
keep it going.
Dove soap.
Dope.
I'm actually pretty ambidextrous, so
And but that means you used to.
so look,
One hand dry,
I've
one
had-
hand
so you
lotion.
need
I don't know how
lotion.
old. I don't know how old everyone is here, but I feel like I'm the oldest one in the room. I'm 34, so I have like
Baby
got
powder.
us.
Listen,
Like,
I've
how
got,
does that
I've got experience here. All right?
Vaseline.
I think.
That's so lotion that counts. Either dry or not.
Okay, all right.
Nah, definitely not dry.
Definitely not dry. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry, there's
All
a
right,
dry guy.
There's a dry guy. Let's be real. Let's be real. I'm gonna be. I'm
real.
gonna
Offend
give
nobody.
you all the realest answer.
I want the realest
He would
answer
know.
possible.
Hold on. Look, let me tell you.
Talked about lotion, couldn't find that shit anywhere to be found that
Well, I'm
day.
glad you mentioned that. 'Cause
You
one of the
couldn't
questions
toss
I
him no
asked them through
lotion,
the door is
bro.
like, "Hey, man, I'm out of lotion. What'd you use?"
All right. So
Wait,
ideally,
wait before you leave.
So obviously,
sounds like lotion.
ideally,
I'm in the back.
obviously, ideally, it's lotion every time.
You're right.
Right?
Lotion?
But let's be real with each other. Like, sometimes I'm over here like squirting blanks out of my Lubriderm or whatever the fuck it is. I'm like, there's nothing coming
gotta do
out
what you gotta
here,
do in those situations, yeah.
Sometimes it's just gonna be skin on skin friction, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man, you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes.
No, listen, guys. There is something about having a mason worker's hand down there that really just.
no.
You're not raising a kid. It's not
Yeah,
skin to skin contact.
I've got callous fucking hands here, all right?
Yeah. You feel like you're safe. Whoever this person is going to take care of you. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna send y'all this sleep sounds playlist so y'all can just go to sleep. Quick beat y'all's meat.
That doesn't sound nearly as fun as the other thing we're talking about.
Quick beat y'all's meat, bro. It ain't worth it. Just go to sleep.
So we definitely got somewhat of a dry guy.
We'll take 75-45. That adds up.
That extra 5% to.
Yeah. Hey, man, I've been there. Eli, you didn't give us an answer, buddy.
You get a nerd's amount of. You're like, I'll make it work.
Yeah, what do you? Where am I putting this precious gift right now?
Run your hand under the sink. Go get more lube with the water. And you'll get,
Wow.
It's a science behind it.
Eli, you got to come through now.
Eli, you're the
not
one that
dry. What are we talking about?
Thank you. All right. Thank
I said
you.
soap.
Thank
I was
you.
the first one to say
He did say soap. Off
Dove
rip.
soap.
Dove soap.
Fucking
Soap. It's gonna smell great.
smell
yeah.
good.
that
It's
is after you get to
hydrating
the,
soap.
It doesn't just smell like cum after.
Nah, you
I've always said I want the
smell like
girliest
fucking cactus
like,
blossom.
Yeah.
No, if Eli is using Dove soap down there, we need to talk about something else. That's the smell, apparently. Whatever is going on.
That's a good smell.
Hey, I pride myself in that compliment from previous relationships.
Hell
And it
yeah.
made me also
Hell
and it
yeah.
made me also think
Your
about
dick is so soft.
No, it's like
You
it
got
smells
no idea.
Yeah. and then I'm like,
even
then
get
I
this
think,
shit
and I'm like, yo, like, what kind of dick cheese have you been presented with in the past? Oh God, for that to be your first compliment on it. No.
I've always been a fan of like if a girl says I'm like well suited down there or something, I'm like, don't baby me. Like what do you want me to say in response? Like
Do they tell that to everybody?
I think that's my big thing.
It's gotta be.
Because I get you're being nice, but it's also kind of
I
patronizing.
think it's the ultimate cop out.
It's just right.
It's the ultimate
Yeah.
cop-out.
Yeah. Of course, a worse one.
Wait, girls tell you that?
Okay,
You guys talk to
there it
girls?
is.
Wow, what's with the curve? Fuck it.
He went that way.
That's why they call you. That's why they call you fish hook.
You guys should see me and Hunter with the girls after bars. We get them back to my place to smoke weed. We get them in the apartment and we're like, so like we don't have any money, but here's some vanilla ice if y'all want to dance. It's very
Gets 'em every
awkward.
time.
No, usually it goes so whenever you tell women at a bar that you're a successful rapper, I think the conversation goes a bit smoother than, hey, I'm 27, I have a podcast.
You guys want to come?
How are you doing?
50-second clip?
Yeah.
Hey, I don't know, man. I see a lot of TikToks and podcast guys they
They're
winning,
blowing
bro.
up.
They're doing it,
They
man.
winning, bro.
Hey, if Bobby Lee's getting pussy, you be all right.
Dude, that's a good point, man. And we've got to be more hung than Bobby Lee.
Yeah,
Gotta
for
be.
sure.
I'm glad that 4 of the 6 were quiet
Yeah, dude.
there. 4 of the 6 were like not wanting to say anything. The other 3 were like, yeah, for sure.
I remember hearing about we talked this before about another podcast. When I worked concrete, there was this Mexican dude that came over to me, and first off he went, "Where's all the Mexicans with your group?" And I went, "Oh well, we don't have any like Latino or Mexican guys." He goes, "This job's gonna take fucking forever." Yeah, I said okay.
As someone who's always worked in kitchens.
Yeah, I was like, that's fair. We do take a lunch break.
Well, dude, as someone who's always worked in kitchens, literally, I just went and helped open another store for the company I worked for. I worked for a restaurant company, and we had this new guy start my very last day. And I remember before he even put his fucking work hat on, I said, that guy ain't gonna last, man. It's like some little 21-year-old white kid with his chain's out. He's got a big watch on. I said, man, that boy is going 5 minutes, he's gone. I swear to God, 17 minutes in, he said, nope, and walked out.
You
It
called
was
him.
awesome, yeah.
Well, the reason why I brought that up is because he had told me what his job was, or I told him like concrete's hard, and he goes, Goes, dude, it's not as bad as my one boy's job. And I was like, what's your one boy's job? And this is at a horse, a breeding barn.
Yeah, I already knew. Why did I?
He goes,
Why did you?
yeah, he goes, he's the one that, like holds it. And I was like,
Why?
he's like, holds what? And he goes,
The wiener.
he's like, and that's going on, and I'm just thinking in my head, imagine that guy every time he gets home at night. He's with his lady, goes, is it good enough? Yeah.
Hi, honey.
Yeah, like, God damn.
Holding a horse ticket while masturbating.
That'll humble you right
How was
there.
work?
Yeah.
Imagine he comes home.
Fuck up, I'm going to sleep.
Imagine what's that training book like? Now, this horse's name, Seabiscuit, likes it when you twist. You know what I mean?
Don't put on this part of the staff; he'll kick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But he had told me all that after I just asked where the bathroom was. So it was a heck of a story, you know?
He probably came home one day and a horse was just fucking his wife.
It was Yoku.
That's why he knows, man.
But no, it's I really appreciate having you guys here, man.
Yeah, we could totally.
Yeah, I like that segue.
We've learned about horse shows, and you're the only still the only drunk guy.
It was a big ass horse dick. That was our guest tonight.
I can't wait for Yoku to go back and be like, dude, we talk about horse cock for like 4 minutes, and Eli was British. I don't know what they did in there.
I'm gonna definitely send this to my parents, bro. They're gonna be like, I love the whole thing except the end.
Yeah,
was
I was
a little
confused when they
crazy.
said dry guy. You know?
Your
My
dad's
dad
over
would be
going,
like,
you're damn right, son. We always use lotion.
That guy in there looked like a marathon Dolph. I fucked
Right.
up the joke.
You're killing it.
Yeah. But we'll take one more quick break, and then we'll wrap it up. And then I want to see what you guys are doing and what's coming on. And yeah, we'll get you guys on out of here. Cool.
Oh yeah.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. This is Stuck in Static. I'm joined with Real Deal McNeil, Brady Wilson. Change that one up a little bit this time. we got Eli and we got Juice, and they are both the producers for our special guest today. Tell them one more time, who is it?
Yoku Naru.
That's right, baby. Yoku Naru. Glad to have you here. One more applause for that one. Absolutely.
Thank y'all for having us.
Oh, dude, absolutely.
It's been a blast, y'all.
I wanted to tell Juice, thanks for we're dealing with the mics right now. You know, getting more mics. So I'm like,
Yeah, man.
we're changing off, and I'm like looking at the camera, fucking.
Ambidextrous.
Yeah, dude. That's
So while we're on that,
can't go back to it again.
Oh, we can. There's more to discuss.
while we're on that, hold on. Eli, tell the story of how we figured out.
Oh, bro. Oh, yeah. We told you we were going to tell the
yes.
story. So Dylan is over at my new studio. Haven't had him over to check it out. We were talking about, the logistics of getting on the podcast. So I just got a new computer, new system for the studio, and I'm trying to get a bunch of stuff and software put on it. And I use his account for something. And there it is. Okay, so I'm sitting there, and he's talking to me, and he's not telling me anything funny, but he finally hits me with the login, and I read his text while Dylan's talking to me. And the password for one of his logins is
Big Sack 1
Big Sack 1.
with a capital B.
So I start laughing, and it didn't really throw him off, but
And no regret.
yeah, right. So it didn't throw him off, but I felt like I needed to explain why I just laughed in his face for no reason. So I was like, "Yeah, dude, I have to get this login for my guy." And he read what his password was, Big Sack 1. And he's like, "Dude, that's fucking crazy." And then he starts to tell me about his friend that has all these fucked up mannerisms and like passcodes and stuff.
Am I the guy?
No, no.
I was like, wait a minute.
He said it's Jared. It's my friend Jared. And I was like, he's like, and his brother Juice does music. And I was like, that's whose
him.
password is Big Sack 1.
So he was talking about his?
Yes.
He was talking about his brother.
Oh, my.
And the only reason it came up is because I was laughing and told him what he had texted me. And so he associated his brother to him based off that
Based
moment.
off the password?
Yeah.
Big Sack 1,
Right.
legendary.
He's like, yeah, my friend Jared would do something like that.
That's so fucking funny.
Yeah, that's actually he was like, yeah, that's Password's Big Sack 1. My friend Jared would do something like that. And I was like, wait a minute. Does Jared have a brother named Juice?
Dude, when you first walked in, I heard the name Jared thrown a few times. I was like, he's Jared Robinson. Off rip. That's his brother.
Other perspective of that story, before I knew we were doing this, Jared had called me earlier in the week and was like, hey, do you know Eli and Yoku Naru? I was like, yeah, you idiot. That's fine. I know them. What do you mean? He was like, they're doing a podcast. I'm going to be a part of a podcast with them, I think. Like, they asked me if I wanted to come on. And I was like, yeah, it's crazy. So now that I'm here, I called him tonight. I was like, hey, yo, you coming to the podcast on? He was like, what?
Jared, I want you to know, somewhere down the line, Thanksgiving just hit us too hard.
Yeah, sorry, Jared. Someone downtown 3 times.
Someone once upon a time was supposed to just give you a text, and I'm sorry, bro.
He gave me his. It's my fault, Jared. Sorry, man. You gave me his.
As we said earlier, Brady's main job is to give comedy relief and just send a fucking text.
That's not what we said earlier, bro. Originally, I was supposed to have a whole 10 minutes to talk about wrestling. Still haven't had that.
The one day we did actually have it, he was having to open up this new store, and our guest had brought up his favorite wrestling, and I was like, oh no.
I'm a big professional wrestling fan, not Olympics, WWE.
No, it's an obsession. You know what I mean?
Yeah, not the real shit.
It's a good one because now he's got me into it. I've got the bug.
Right.
Like, he was bringing up some stuff the other day about this man named MGF. MGK? No.
MGK.
God, I sound like my dad, dude.
It's MJF. He's the world champion, but it's whatever. Yeah.
But it's whatever.
But he brought it up to me, and I went, wait, did he finally get that belt? And I was like, wait a minute, how did I?
Wait, so you said it is like Olympic wrestling, or
No, it's not. No,
like
WWE. No. There's Budweiser here.
We have guys jumping off 20-foot ladders into steel chairs
Picnic
for fun.
tables.
Hey, respect, bro. I done seen
Respect. I can't do it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the blood got to be real. Got to be coming.
Have you
from
seen that?
somewhere.
You can't fake that.
Have you seen that clip of a wrestling match? Like, I don't know. It seemed like it was 10, 15 years ago. And this guy's like, I need a chair. And everyone in the WWE arena throws a chair into the center of the ring. And it wasn't planned. And so the guys in there are like, what the fuck's happening? And then that guy comes on the announcement and he's like, stop throwing your chairs.
Yoku, you now have to do that for the next show you're at. I need a chair.
I need a chair, bro. I'm gonna have to hit somebody with a chair next show, bro. Motherfuckers be acting up in my show sometimes.
Oh no!
Have you already have you been getting some of those fans yet? The ones that are kind of yeah.
I mean, not fans, but we're not gonna get into it. But
bit reckless.
Yeah, a little bit, a little messy, but
You started some mosh pits?
something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Okay.
Yeah, some real deal,
show
real
when
life
when
mosh
the mosh
pits.
pit goes down.
Yeah, but our shows definitely get a little. Like I said, we got zombies right now. They don't know what the fuck they are experiencing. Right. So, but one day, we're gonna rock the stadiums. People know the words.
Hell yeah, man.
It's yeah.
That was a great answer. Gonna rock the stadiums one day. I like that, man.
Yeah, and because like the one comparison I get the most often when I show people your music is Travis Scott. And I'm like,
of course, every time.
Yeah, I'm like. Yeah, but
Everyone's deep though, because like when you talk about people and their teams, like I think me and him, like we know the people that we don't know them, we know who works on his stuff, we know the names of people. Yeah, so that influences on us too, right?
We come with him with an instrumental lots of times. It's like we come with him with instrumentals. A lot of times our sounds are kind of influenced from sonically what we hear as well.
Big time.
And it'll be like the way he mixes a reverb or something. So it's not even how he's delivering his music or anything, but I think sonically the compliment comes from it sounds
the best
in this realm of like sonically. I compare it to how this artist does his same kind of approach,
And that's a big thing for me is like I never take it as like a bad thing that they compare it. It's just like, but like there's another level to it. Like
I do.
Because the thing that really brought me and Eli together is like how diverse our music tastes are. And so like I know that his influences are so much deeper than that. And so I know that if he's working with people, they're the same
forward.
way.
Yeah.
And so I want people to see that it's deeper than that. Like it's not just limited to something like
I think coming up too, especially with a lot of the newer stuff coming out, it'll be more of a like okay, that's influenced, but it's just one kind of mix of element into
Are
it.
you guys at the moment now to where, because I do want to ask you this, when it comes to creating a song or coming into some of your lyrics and stuff like that, which is coming first, the bird or the egg? You know what I mean? Is it
It's interesting. I was actually telling someone about this the other day. Like, I feel like I wouldn't be good lyrically, but I'll make a song that.
I disagree.
You think so?
You're talented as fuck.
Already,
bro.
Eli has reference songs that sound great. Don't let him. He's being very humble right now.
Yeah.
Y'all's
Eli-
friendship is beautiful.
Eli literally could shit on all of us.
No.
Like,
No. Okay.
I'm like a good
But-
karaoke
but-
singer. Eli could be like the next Post Malone.
that's probably like, my like biggest like thing I'm chasing is like Eli type knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause like if I ever acquire that knowledge, then I get to just be like, whoa,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Because when you really got your hands in that shit, like, that's why I'm saying like Eli's music is fire because Eli's making it. You know what I'm saying? Like when I start to, get to the point where I'm cooking a little bit more, I got more hands in the shit, then it's gonna be a different feel, different. Like they have gotten me to this certain foundation that's been like the best maybe ever.
Yeah.
I think. That was a good compliment, and that.
And then when he tries to sound British, it doesn't sound British.
That compliment.
He sounds like he's from Harlan.
No,
Y'all's friendship is beautiful friendship.
Thanks,
That's
man.
what
I
I'm
appreciate
saying.
Yeah, bro. Nah, these my dogs right here.
Yeah,
bro. Like,
I hope now we can work after watching that.
he said we can work out.
You saw they compliment each other. Just throwing it out there.
You've seen my babies.
my babies.
It was beautiful.
But
I'm happy for
to
you
your
guys.
original question, there's times where I'll make a song, and I feel like you would do the same, like the music to a song, and it has been generated indirectly just from sort of like emotion or like a vibe or feeling, and then he'll come in and write lyrics to it, and I'm like, well, damn, that's like exactly what I was thinking about when I was making, and we had no conversation about it in between. But no, I think most of the time we have some sort of arrangement going on that he ends up writing to. And something we've found too is less is more. So a big thing on production, especially where we were able to, I feel like, advance quickly, it was we started to realize when we are making a song when it doesn't need any more elements to it, and because we had someone to actually write lyrics. So now we're really aware, like, it for some people it may seem very early on to the production, but we're like, this doesn't need anything but vocals right now.
We just did it today.
We just did it today.
Yeah, literally. We like you said, we were working on some music. The last one we made, like we'll almost like give a little tag team, like tap out on the beat. Like I'll do something or he'll do something.
They are
We're
one
working
person.
together.
We call them Kyle.
So like we'll start
Yeah, fusion. They are one person.
So yeah, like we'll either I'll have a beat or he'll have a full beat already made because that's just what we do. Or like today where we'll work together and just come up with something just for the sake of doing it. We'll get to a point where literally it'll be like one sound or a melody, some drums for a groove, and then it's like he was like, what should we do next? I was like, I don't know. I mean, anything you do past that point kind of almost takes too much creativity out of his out of his hands.
Plus, you'll start to realize the shit you do from there. It'll be like some sort of piano or like keys thing that is mimicking what a vocal melody would be.
He'd rather his vocals.
And so we start to realize like, okay, that shit doesn't even need to be in there. Just need to give it to him now. Yeah.
As cliche as it sounds, you're finding your groove.
Right. Yeah. No, seriously.
You know what I mean? You're finding your groove. That's what it is.
And that's a good sign, like for a team, when you start finding your groove and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like knowing how to progress further.
Yeah.
Some of our best songs have been like made in like minutes.
Yeah.
Like
So one of my favorite parts, one of my other favorite parts about your all's stuff is like you aren't afraid to switch up a song completely.
Love that.
Midway. Where does that come? Like, what inspired that?
Yeah,
Give me the mic. Give me the mic.
So another thing. So I made a beat to a song that we already have created, right?
This happened today.
Like months ago, right?
Years ago.
Yeah. And today he's making a beat, and it came from the same source. It was like a Moonlight Sonata sample, and it was both cut parts of that record, that piano part. And when I heard it today, he was like, "Yeah, we just made this like while we were waiting on you to slide over here." And I was like, "Dude, hey, that's crazy. We made a song to that already. Like, what if we could stitch them together somehow?"
The substance was the same. I was talking about the same exact shit. The same girl.
Yeah, and that just happened today as well.
Yeah, bro, it was nuts.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It gives the story a different.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
yeah.
But the melody and the music, it kind of derived from the same source material.
Sometimes-
Oddly enough, and it doesn't always happen that way.
Yeah, well, I'd say more times than not, though. Like,
How would you describe the into motion or what we made? I'm sorry,
Ain't No Way.
Ain't No Way into what was the song?
That's
interlude
the
and low
interlude.
key.
Low key.
Into low key.
Yeah, like that was a different, and that was a whole different kind of how we came up with that idea.
Right,
as well, you know?
right.
And that was that low key was sent to me. So like I've coming up as a writer, like I've always been the kind of guy that like just sits in his room and just like, sits down and I like write. It's me and my headphones and shit like that. So I just get in a different space when I just like kind of sit down and write. And I think I was at work or something like that, and they were fucking with that beat.
Is that why you miss those fouls? You're writing this at work?
I ain't missing no more, bro. Them coaches be yelling too much. Fuck that. But they sent me the beat, and Eli was just like, he didn't even give me a choice. He was like, "You're getting on this."
Yeah.
And
This is what?
and I was like, "All right, cool." And like, bro, it might be one of the hardest records we got. Like, and the way, so Ain't No Way is just like this song that has morphed into maybe a crowd favorite, and I haven't even dropped it.
Like
So
people singing it.
People singing this shit. Like I've posted it on Instagram and shit before, and it's probably the thing that's gone the most viral for me. So like that's an anticipated song that's coming out, but like I said, they were working on it one day and ended up putting like a second half of the beat to this song that we already have, and it became this fucking beast of a record. Like, bro, American Mango, when this comes out,
Spontaneity for all that is just insanity.
Yeah,
It's just it's fantastic.
For me, I think a lot of that comes from I like gapless records. So the three songs we're talking about, the Ain't No Way, there's an interlude, and then the next song's called Loki. It's interesting why we call it Loki too. I'll tell you that in just a second. But when the album comes out, when you look at your playhead and you're watching like whatever Spotify or whatever, you'll see the track switch from 5 to 6 to 7, but you won't hear a stop in anything. You won't hear a stop into anything, so it'll be all continuous on that. And then Loki, when I made that, I ended up calling it Loki because have you watched Loki on Disney? Any of the Marvel? Anyway, the sound. I was
Loki, the villain from
Okay, so it's not low key.
So the reason why we call it low key is because I was watching the Marvel Loki at the time, and a lot of the soundscapes they had on there.
They're fantastic.
I was loving it. So I found one that seemed very time variance alliance, like this. It reminded me of what I was watching. So I was like, dude, I was watching Loki, and he's like, I'm gonna call this song Loki, and I was like, oh, that's fucking cool.
Loki.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah, it's very like I be making music in double, triple entendres. Like my bars like just have so many different ways that you can take them. So like we named it based off of that, but like the content of the song is still telling this girl to just like keep the shit low key.
right.
So like we got to use one word. Yeah,
Dude,
we got
it's
to
all
use,
sinking in now.
Yeah,
Because now I'm thinking
exactly.
about the variants and
Yeah,
There it is.
This,
Bro.
like, it's-
exactly.
Yeah, man.
exactly, bro. So those are the types of like we're world builders. We build those types of worlds and
scenarios.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it always comes together like very, very nice.
That's one of my favorite parts. Like I always appreciate the singles, but like that's my favorite part when you put out a project. It's like you can tell everything is connected in a certain type of way.
That's what I want.
And it feels different when you and what is the artist that like made you realize that you wanted to put together complete projects instead of just
Probably Travis. Yeah. I mean, like to me, sonically, Astroworld, best album ever.
Really?
Bro, because and like I'm emotional. So like shit that means a lot to me is because like maybe the time that I heard it, like the place that I heard it, like the shit means like, you know what I'm saying? I would say my number one album of just like all time that I love is probably Purple Rain by Prince. And that's because like growing up, bro, like every time I go to my aunt's house, like she was showing me music like that. Like that's the type of musical upbringing that I've had.
I feel that way about a lot of Max albums because like just emotionally it touched on me on a different level.
Swimming dropped that same night. Two of maybe the greatest albums ever, bro.
Astroworld ends with, and what's crazy too, I swear I don't know where I had heard like a gapless record, and I know it wasn't to the intensity that I try to push them out sometimes, but I'm realizing now it's gone as far as like the last song in the last album that we have. It ends with like this like sonic, like it sounds like a guy in the woods, like just trying to find his way out, and so we have like the footsteps and like literally that night. Wow, listen to this. That night, Astroworld came out and Swimming came out. We took a voice recording of outside because it was like crickets and nature, and we heard. So that was what we used on the outro of the last album, and then the intro of this album that's gonna be coming out. It's you hear that's what it starts up with. It's like he's found his way out and he gets like abducted, and you hear this whole soundscape of it. So the albums are gapless to each other too.
The albums are kind of connecting as well. It starts how the last one finished.
The American manga aspect is, like the manga is just like it's a story, and the story is basically this character gets abducted, but he gets abducted by himself. So like it's his higher version. It's his best self. The best version of him is like trying to get him to this point to where like he can be his best version. So I've wrote this whole short story. Like I have a short film.
And low-key, he has this lyric. He says, I'm sick of sitting on my ways. I'm moving past it. You want the old me, and I'm holding him for ransom. Like, it's a bar, bro.
Bro. We got some.
You know what it sounded like? He was stuck in some static, bro.
Facts,
no,
bro.
man. I to that same point to where just kind of magic happens.
You know what would be tight? If we did like a live round table, like after we listened to the album.
Say less.
Dude, that'd be dope.
You know what I'm saying? Like if we had like a little audience or something like that, that just like maybe we have the listening party and like maybe we can do a little something after and just like talk about it. We can ask questions to people in the crowd and shit. Y'all can just interview us.
Say less.
Dude, that'd be dope.
Because we gotta. I mean, like the project is like, it's just so real. Like we got some real shit that happened that ended up creating this album. Like, so when I say that like we got zombies at the show and shit. So when I moved back from California, when I moved back here, I was going to therapy, and my therapist was like a paraplegic, bro. Like, didn't move. Like, you know what I'm saying? He could just talk basically. And so I'm in there talking and getting to know him, and he's getting to know me and shit. And
talk about talking your problems with that guy,
dude. Yeah.
I mean, it was just like a humbling experience, bro. And he's getting to know me and shit, and I'm telling him that I make them. This is what I do. I make music, and I think it was maybe like the third session, and he's like, "Let me hear something," and I let him hear
Intentional
Walk, and Intentional Walk. So we had some crazy shit happen to us, and some shit went down, and like basically we got to the point to where like when I came back home, I was just like in a daze. Yeah. And like we were at that point where we were really making a lot of music. Like
this was in California, gotcha.
Into California, back
the
to
day
Lexington.
Before we were supposed to come back home.
Yeah, and so we get back home, and like it was probably like a month, or maybe even longer into like, and we live with each other. Studio's downstairs. Eli's mixing all the time. This dude used to not sleep, bro. Like,
nope.
Like literally used to not sleep, bro.
That's
that was
probably
verification.
What it felt like,
Verification. But yeah, so we weren't making anything. I'm just walking around the house, just like pretty numb. And then one day, bruh, we both walk out of our room, don't say a word to each other. I kid you not, bruh. We both walk out of our room, don't say a word to each other, walk downstairs. He just sits at the desk, and I sit right behind him. He makes this beat, and we make the song Intentional Walk. And it is the hardest, realest shit ever, bruh. And so
you guys are just giving the song so much more life, man.
Because that's what it is.
It's just unreal. It's just unreal.
That's what
but
it is.
I think the execution of it all, it's cool to be in this situation where we can talk about it and like get to explain some of it. But earlier on, you were like, did y'all like, were you athletes and stuff? I cook. Like I like to cook. That was my thing.
Cook too.
And my thing in my relationship to like how those two can work like symbolically to one another is like if you make a dish for someone, like you can't go and explain why it's good or bad. Like they're just gonna eat it and for what it is right there in that moment, they're gonna know if it's fire or not. So same thing with the music. Like you have to be able to be like hit play because we're not gonna be in the room of somebody on Spotify to try to explain all this shit to them. Right. You know what I mean? It's just again, it's fun that we can talk about it on this platform, but ultimately at the end of the day, when we're done with records in the studio, it's like we need it to be able to hit play, come out of the speakers, just be like fire. Yeah.
Facts.
Well, because you're doing the hardest thing ever, and that's for I feel like any art form is you're trying to relay what you're feeling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if it's anything like this our project that we have, it's I'm always tweaking something, and I finally have to be like, all right, this is not ever going to be perfect.
No.
You know what I mean?
I'm the one that's gonna talk you off the edge sometimes.
Yeah, it's not ever going to be perfect.
Something I've come to realize too is like the lesson you're supposed to learn off what you're trying to perfect can only happen when it's out and released to the masses, because that's when it's solidified out to the public. That's when you really capitalize and highlight what you really had issues with, and then you can fix it on the next thing.
Yeah.
Because and this is why I brought up the being an athlete as well. Dylan played sports, Brady played sports, I played sports. That was so much part of my life that I'm always looking for something to where it can kind of drive me in the same way that I did that.
And routine.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like it's just because even going to the gym, you still miss that kind of competition in a way. You know what I mean? Like, and I want people to, now that I've gotten, and this is thanks to Paris, Dylan, and Brady, that I've gotten more or less like if someone doesn't like something about it, it's like thanks, but also like, it's a mixture of fuck off as well.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
you're doing it for your team.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's a combination. But yeah, I would listening party, absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, to answer your question about if I was an athlete in high school, I'm like an Uncle Rico. We would have won state if you put me in.
Bro, you guys are playoff bound. Yeah. North side.
Brown Station.
I was cold, bro. Hey,
Brown
I was
Station.
cold, bro. I was cold.
My dude left the paperclip guy on the screen.
Yeah. Hey,
you probably spelled something wrong, too.
I was cold. Hey, Quentin Borders was my best friend in high school. He was cold. He was like a D1 prospect, and he got all the attention. So as a defensive end being opposite him in high school, I got to feast, and we called each other DE-licious. And we were like, that's what we called each other. We were defensive ends. So
If you become a producer, I'd be angry.
That was his first
cooking
bar.
right now. You know what I mean? Like it's fantastic to have you guys here, man. And
Hey, I wanted to tell y'all about my therapist though.
No, dude, please do.
man.
So listen, okay, so I play him Intentional Walk, right? And like I said, he's a paraplegic, and bro, I'm playing this song, and it's I'm in therapy. It's kind of serious, like
Yeah.
and
I don't mean to giggle. It's I'm just thinking of the whole situation.
No, for
Exactly.
sure.
You started all the therapist is
what comes to mind
paraplegic.
immediately is what was Bobby Lee? He's like,
He was like,
he's
I was brutally
raped.
molested. And they start cracking up. It's like that.
Like, dude,
no,
you started off meeting my therapist is paraplegic.
Yes.
It's like
I had to set the mood so y'all could be where I was at this moment.
I went straight to how did he take notes?
Yeah.
Stephen
mentally,
Hawking,
yeah,
mentally, bro.
IBM.
And he remembered everything, bro.
Yeah.
Like, so I play him this song, and like halfway through it, I'm looking at him, and he's not moving, bro. Like,
No pun intended.
no,
I'm sorry.
literally not moving, bro. And I'm like, oh shit, we just killed this dude. Like, the song was so fucking. I was like, bro, we literally just killed this dude. Like, he knows my. Like, I'm telling him about the past couple months, like how crazy it's been and shit. Like, so he knows me. You know what I'm saying? And like, and then I get to play him this song, and like the emotion of it, bro. He was like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, I was just in a trance. I was like, I thought you died.
Can you imagine what those senses are for my man out? Like, first off, I can't even ever imagine that.
Wow.
Are you about to
Yeah.
compare her to Daredevil? All the senses.
No. First off, I want you to know I have
You're
the
about to
highest
go down
respect
that
for
road.
therapy, and
I heard you.
I am not trying to bash quadriplegics.
You were about
okay?
to definitely go down there. I heard you.
Total
Just
hands-free
senses he
ejac.
felt. He felt none, bro. He's paraplegic. Yeah. Like, I hate to say it. So I'm not on that.
It was.
Yoku, you should have never told us this.
Hey, I don't even remember that guy's name, but shout out to that man.
Yeah,
Shout
absolutely,
out to
man.
that therapist, man.
Because bro, like that was a crazy time in life, and
Yeah.
he helped me to start getting through that.
Oh yeah, man.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah. So go to therapy, you fucking sick fucks.
Yeah, I heard
Use
something.
soap.
I heard something the other day, and it said. I heard something the other day, and it said, "Is this older dude? And
Don't
he's,
jerk off dry.
you know, get off of it."
If you learned anything today,
Horses' wieners are fucking huge.
Dylan's on his stroke.
oh shit, man, good shit.
But I did want to. You were talking. I went over there to fix that, and I completely lost it. I was just worried. I thought Dylan was about to be quadriplegic.
Wouldn't that have been
You're a
some
little
shit?
off there. That's
But no. But I was gonna say. Oh yeah. So it was this a comedian. It was this guy on TikTok. Because that's how I watched some of the funniest shit I've ever fucking seen now, honestly.
Yes, the
dude.
new Vine.
Don't get me started.
It is insanity. Because at first I was always a hater. I was like, guys. But
Same.
now I'm just like, I'm like, this is hilarious.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just chicks doing jumping jacks anymore. You know what I mean?
those are still good videos.
Definitely still.
Don't hate on
Yeah, I
them
still
too
subscribe.
That's what my Instagram looks like now. Like my Instagram Explore plays is just like, huh? Bro, my Instagram Explore page is like porn, bro.
Dude,
I'll trade you Instagram.
It's just ass and titties, bro.
That's why I was laughing earlier. He was pulling up the Theo Von text, and I saw his like story bubbles, and it was literally Theo Von and World Star.
dude, so
I was like,
And
this
male
guy's
cheerleaders.
Yeah, I was like, this
Straight
guy's
to the
raw,
entertainment.
he,
Theo Von.
You like
Silky
bum
Boys,
fights and shit.
bro. Dude pays for midget fights, bro.
There's nothing wrong with midget fighting.
when Brady was first running our social media, we went back through it, and it was just thought after thought. And I was like, dude, we're following like 85
Yeah,
thoughts, dude.
man.
That's not my
Gotta
personal.
clean that up.
All of it was like chicks just like this, and I'm like, I know Brady was probably like, well, might as well just
Gotta clean that up, bro. Like, yeah, so TikTok though, you know, is a place to where I get a lot of the funny shit. Like I
Yeah.
see a lot of the funny shit and like cool shit. Like I do love TikTok for that because they keep it really fresh. Like even when it's something random.
China kills that shit, bro.
Shout out China, man.
China.
Shout out.
But what I was gonna say,
TikTok.
Shout out. Shout out.
TikTok and Corona. Shout out.
that it saved us all.
out.
But
Hey, we almost ended the podcast on horse dick.
wouldn't
You're
be
right,
the
this
first
is
time,
way
boys. Somehow, that's what's beautiful about this is that we can go from having a serious conversation
Oh,
to
yeah.
somehow a horse and a pocket pussy. Like it's just insanity.
I feel like in our last break, we went to serious conversations like off camera, and then it came back on, and then we picked right off.
So
you guys don't get the good stuff. But
We were like, yeah, our economic views. When the fucking camera turned off.
all right, BBC.
Right. Thought you meant big
Big
black
British
cock for a second. He meant British broadcasting that way,
I'm trying to figure out
Welcome
if you
back to
thought Big
Indian
Black Cock at
Radio.
first, and then went. It was actually.
I thought he called me Big C. I was like, thanks, bruh. Fuck yeah, let's go.
Sounds
Called
like a
you
big,
British earlier.
Big
All right.
British call.
Today, the queen is dead.
Oh, God.
But I saw this. Speaking of like kind of the therapy and stuff, I
We're
saw
going to need
this.
it after this.
The key is to just keep moving. All right.
Yeah. And joke about shit all the
Yeah,
time. Fuck
it's just keep it light, keep it moving. Cause we tell people all the time, we're like, do not take anything we say here with any type of form of like a grain, like a massive grain of salt.
Right,
you know what
right.
I mean? Like,
other than, you know, the things that y'all are manifesting, you know, like
Yeah.
being successful and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, take that serious.
yeah. So hit the like button and subscribe.
Yeah, Lexi Fahey, we love you.
But
She's a subscriber.
I
still got it
every
in.
time.
If he can say North Side, I can say Lexi Fahey.
But it was this guy on TikTok, just a full circle here. He was on there and he said somehow y'all are living in the most successful time, the most connected time, the most prosperous time. And he goes, it's the highest amount of suicides
Yeah.
and depression. And then, you know, he cut it back, speaking of like joking around. That's why I love, you know, comedians like this. But he was like, he was saying, he goes, you know what I used to do back when I was 13? I used to walk 5 miles both ways in the snow uphill to get weed from my drug dealer who sold me all stems. You know what I mean? I was like, and he goes, and I was happy as fuck.
That was the good times.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Man. That good headache, huh?
Yeah.
Shouts out to Tim. That was you for like. that was my guy's name. Though I got all my stems from. It was Tim.
Shout out to
Tim the Stem Man.
Tim the
Tim
Stem.
the Sim, dude.
We legit used to make a joke. He was like 5 minutes from anywhere. I could be like in like Harrodsburg Road. I'd be like, "Yo, can I come get something?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm like 5 minutes away." Or I'm
no,
in
you're not.
like Indiana on vacation. I'm like, "Hey, I'm about to get back in town tomorrow." He's like, "Hey, just stay where you are." I'm like, 5 minutes away.
Bro, if I'm only selling stems, I'm always on call as well. I'm always.
If you're buying,
Without
I'm
that.
selling.
Exactly.
I bet Tim's probably a millionaire by now.
No,
You fueled his whole
I have no
career.
doubt that I probably got some Tim Sniggle Fritz. That is for sure. But no, man. You know, before we wrap everything up, you know, let them know what's going on with you guys. Let them know what the future holds and what's coming up, so they all know, and how to find you, especially. So.
All of my media platforms is Yoku Naru. That's GOYOKUNARU. Go Yoku Naru. Yeah, so coming up, like we've been talking about earlier, a lot of singles and project early next year. So, you know, I'm putting together, you know, different ways for people to experience this in like not a normal type of capacity. I really think that the album, the listening party, is going to be an experience. Y'all are obviously invited. And I think that would be cool if we do some podcast shit too. But yeah, you can just always expect from me very high quality cinematic experiences. So yeah,
More to come.
Yeah, if you're asking me what I'm expecting, what
Yeah, what are you
to expect from me, you'll probably hear most of my shit on his shit.
Right.
Facts. You know what I mean?
Do
So
you guys still use like the old tried and true SoundCloud at all? Are you guys still going through that, or is it strictly through Spotify?
yeah.
I don't know if you had some deep cuts or something, or
Yeah, I'm using a distribution platform called
Okay.
Vidya, yeah, so I'm able to like put my videos out through them and all my music.
what was
out
it again? Can you say it one more
It's
time?
called Vidya, VYDIA.
Okay.
So, you know, there's music people out there listening. It's a pretty decent platform. But yeah, so I put all my music out through them, and they just put it in all the stores. So, you know, that's how it ends up on like TikTok, Instagram, Apple Music. Like, they do put it on SoundCloud, but I don't personally use like SoundCloud. But it's out there for people that use that shit. But yeah, you know, I would say my biggest platforms are definitely Instagram, fucking boomer. And you know, I'm moving over to TikTok a lot more.
Hey, we'll go with you on that journey, man. Like
Yeah.
if you guys ever want to, because we got the videography.
Yeah.
If that would help you guys out, and we'll all help each other out.
Yeah,
man.
we
We'll-
sick.
Always, bro.
Yeah.
Always down to collaborate. Like,
Collaboration's key, man.
And then as for your producers, are you guys kind of doing any type of kind of like freelance work at all that people can reach out? Or are you guys trying to focus?
Yeah, well, for me, I run a studio here in town, so I work with a lot of local artists, and even this year and last year through online. I mean, I did work for people in Texas, California, all around. Had people flying from New York to work with me, so I work with a lot of people still. But you know, in my mind, that I give them the full force of what I have to offer, but in the back of my head, it's always like, this is sick because I'm sharpening the sword, take it back to the home base, and we'll have, even better shit we can put out for him too. But yeah, that for me, it's just all studio stuff.
come on in. Now
Come
you're in it
on.
now.
Right at the end.
Oh, bro, let me tell you what you missed.
So Eli, is there a way for them to reach out to you specifically?
Yeah, honestly, my main thing is just Instagram. So Elias X Mash, ELIAS X Mash, MASH, and have a website coming soon, so that'll be cool. It'll be all my music there for playlisting from Apple Music and Spotify. A lot of shots from the studio, behind the scenes clips, all that stuff, tutorials, Twitch streams for mixes.
Find your studio in town?
It's on Southland Drive, close to Marika's.
Fuck yeah.
They dropped the link on engineers where they can book you.
Oh yeah,
too.
engineers ENGINEARS.
Yeah.
.com.
Yeah.
/
Hey.
We're
Six
gonna shoot
Match.
you guys a text. We're
Bro, hey, look, bro's being hella humble with what he's saying. That website is Derek Ali's like little like group of engineers that he fucks with that like he validates to be on his website.
That's Kendrick's engineer.
Kendrick Lamar's engineer. Yeah, and he Derek Ali won Grammy for engineering "This Is America" for Childish Gambino.
Yeah, I got to look at.
He's like been in session with him, reverse engineering records with him and shit. Right?
I got to see "This Is America."
Yeah,
Big Shot
yeah.
from the Black
So-
Panther album. Dude,
That's dope
Yeah.
as fuck,
So he's
man.
been hella humble. Dude is he's a goat for real. He is the best engineer you can probably
appreciate
get
it,
out of
man.
here. So I'm saying,
Thank you.
hey, find that link. Be very specific. Engineers.com.
Engineers.com / EliasXMash.
There you
Just
go.
book me there.
For sure. That's
Yeah,
where you get them.
save that part of the video.
where you
y'all.
get
Boom.
That is the one thing you will always get from Eli. He's way too humble
Nah.
for how talented he is.
I mean, what do you want him to fucking do? Walk around and be like, bitch, I'm
should
fucking
be.
Eli.
You know who I is?
You know who I is?
Yeah.
Know who I am.
This point,
It was the really work up to it. That was good.
Plus, he got the beanie on he's in the fisherman parts of Great Britain, eating fish and chips and shit.
Fish chips in it.
So that I'm just so I hope you guys were here for the whole thing because I cannot wait to look back and just see, was he talking to this one here? Because now I'm just hearing it. I don't know if that's
Yeah.
but now Juice, what about you? Are you
I mean, yeah, like I said, if you want to hear anything that I'm making, you'll probably mostly hear it on his albums and his projects. That's who I'm primarily working with. I certainly still do sell beats. I also have a website that I've built from scratch that'll be out here pretty soon, where I'll be able to sell like beats and sound kits for like other producers that want to like buy loops and different things that I've created from scratch that are royalty free. Like you'll be able to grab those kind of things. But for the most part right now, my primary focus is like just making the best music that we can make and like focusing on like just experimenting and getting better.
And sync licensing. I want to get into that.
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. Like, that as well. I've done it.
Movies, commercials.
I'm trying to, like, I've worked a lot with Visit Lex here in town and I've done a lot of commercials with them. Like, you know, for
Keeneland and all
Keeneland and stuff like that. Yeah. And, you know, shouts out to Shooter. Me and him did a commercial like for like Puma and Kids Foot Locker and stuff like that. So
That's fucking awesome.
yeah. I mean, yeah. Well, you know, it's still like it's not where you want it to be. They're like great opportunities, but it's like, you know, you strive for passive income, and I think those are things that we're just like kind of scratching the surface with.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Still
It's still a work in progress, but yeah, I'm definitely still happy to be able to. You know, it's cool shit to be able to do that, but you know, trying to be able to make money while you're sleeping should alys be the goal for everybody.
Right.
Man, y'all done the hardest part. Y'all started and you're doing it. That's
Yeah,
the hardest part. Now
yeah,
you're doing it.
yeah.
Now it's just going to be a snowball effect.
Yeah, it's just, you know, it's learning the business, learning how to talk to people, go out there and meet a lot of people and build relationships and let the rest of your work speak for itself, you know?
Somebody's going to get really lucky, man, because like I said, you know, we've been in those rooms, we've been in those meetings, and, like, continue to get validated, and somebody's going to get behind this, and it's going to be great.
For sure.
Man.
well, and I feel like a big part of like once you're in those rooms, being accepted is just like being in your authentic selves, and that's what I've always appreciated about you all is like you've never changed.
Nah.
Like there's been times where like I've fallen out of touch with you all for a while and then get back, but like you all have never changed who you are, and that's why I appreciate your artistic ship and just your genuine self.
Yeah,
You-
no, thanks. Yeah.
like that's
We keep each other like that. I
yeah,
feel like,
yeah.
You know, we're just products of our environment.
Yeah.
And, you know,
Yeah.
luckily we got a brilliant, like a round table of just brilliant people. And, you know, like we've been talking about all day, just that iron sharpening iron, bro, that goes the furthest. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know anything other than just, like, getting better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we hope that we can continue to like
Keep this going.
be more a part of this scene and like
Yeah.
get to know you all even better.
So,
like
I had a question for you guys. I wanted to know, like, you know, what do you feel like separates you all? Like, what's your niche? And like, what's like your goals for this?
Hunter, start it off for us.
Okay, well, I'll do it like I do every sales pitch with no idea. So the majority of it is this. You know, we were talking about, and I'll try and make this brief real quick, but we're talking about just random coincidences where you just find inspiration. You know what I mean? So, for instance, the name, I love the name so much, Stuck in Static, because it reminds me of what I listened to alternative all through high school and middle school, like rock music and stuff. And it just sounds like something I would go to a concert to. You know what I mean? And on top of that, we went on a camping trip, and we had, I'd smoked a dab for the first time, so I was gone. And we're walking on this trail, and it's a whole river of fireflies above us. And they're all blinking, and it looks like static on a screen.
And it hit you.
And I just said, I was like, man, it feels like I'm stuck in some static right now. And that was kind of to where I was like, I want people to get stuck, and I want our conversation to, it's almost ironic, I don't want it to just be static. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I want to build something with my friends and family, and I want to appreciate the people who are always overlooked. And I feel like that is massive in Kentucky and in this area, to where it is a state that has been through so much shit, dealing with so much like pain and loss in general, that we have some of the greatest talent over here, and I want to be a part of that.
Flip that, yeah.
And, low key too, everyone else is making money. I want to make some money for myself
go
too.
ahead.
You know what I mean?
That's
It's
real.
enough to go around.
Yeah, man, it's definitely enough. But that's for me. But I brought Brady and Dylan in on this so you guys could feel a little different. But
I've been with you since the beginning when we started this shit, man. When you hit me up, let's go talk on this microphone at the UK library or whatever, and I was, all right. I didn't go to school. I was like, okay,
Humble beginnings,
I'll
bro.
meet you down there.
So this is the library.
Yeah, I was like,
I used to skip class and make beats in my high school library. And they'd be like, what are you in here doing? I'm like, it's a history project.
That looks like Fruit Loops.
don't hate on the Fruit Loops, man. Make cool beats on there.
Brady be like, Hunter, don't you have finals? And I'd be like, we'll just do another hour.
Well, it's funny. I don't have like a UK pass again. He tells the librarian, I'm interviewing a rock star for a documentary. I'm walking in.
They're like
full
Nickelback,
denim,
right?
cowboy boots. Yeah. I definitely look like an
He's wearing all denim. Yeah, he's a rock star.
I'm a blues rocker. And yeah,
Blues rocker.
good times. And here we are now, a year and a half later, man.
Yeah.
We had fun doing it. Stuck doing it just like y'all.
Keep doing it.
I catch myself in the days like today. I just, we're so lucky to have you guys, but still, it was like, fuck, I'm tired. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just tired.
Right,
man.
right,
And,
right.
like,
We record episodes like 2, 3 in the morning. He's getting upset. I'm falling asleep.
yeah, because that was the only time we had.
Right.
He worked all day. I went to school and worked too. It's just, but you got to do what you want to do.
Right.
Got to.
Right.
Yeah.
But absolutely, guys. And Dylan, I don't know if you had anything to add to that.
No, but we love to have you all again.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was awesome having y'all. Thanks for coming on.
I really just seen the vision for what we can do with this shit. Like, I think a post like album listen interview.
Hey, if you
Dude,
have,
that'd be dope as
if
shit,
you have
bro.
a visual that you want us to add to our scene back here, we're trying
Send
to
you
add
motion
to
or
this
something.
whole wall.
Oh,
behind you all.
sick.
Oh,
sick,
We're
sick.
changing
So,
Dylan's whole
like,
house.
Yeah. So if you
Sick,
if you all
okay.
have some kind of visual
y'all a
that
little
you all
gift.
want us to add
Yeah.
to that,
I have
let
a
us know.
bobblehead Jesus I can add to it, I think.
Absolutely, bro.
yes.
Yeah.
Gotta bless
So-
this.
so
Gotta
yeah.
bless this podcast.
So,
I might
yeah.
have some merch or something somewhere. We
Okay,
can
cool.
get you.
Dude, we'll hang it up.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We're just waiting for that Zen cause you guys can see behind you there. We're just,
Oh yeah.
Every segment tonight was presented by Zen.
yeah. But, guys, speaking of, a good group here, I want to say their names again. We got Yoku over here putting out great music here in Lexington, the 859, but he's also loving the 502 as well, so don't you forget it. And then we got Juice.
Northside Juice.
You did a lot with your
Northside
fingers
Juice.
today. He threw out blood at the beginning of the podcast. I'm like, bro, it might be Crips watching. Yeah, they know who they know.
I didn't finish the word. I was like,
Nah, it was.
Yeah.
They like,
If Jared was here, he wouldn't throw up gang signs.
right. He would.
He wouldn't. Jared had more
Actually, Jared would have
respect.
threw up Crip. They did just had a brotherly brawl right here.
Yeah, do y'all remember, learning some of that shit in high school and being like, y'all know this shit? You know what I mean?
that was the first
Nah, I ain't fuck with that.
I can't do the 4 ABCs of sign language, but I can spell blood with my fingers.
Oh, no.
talent.
Trust me, once you learn it and then you figure out the danger, you're like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't.
I shouldn't.
I was the kid go, look what my creepy uncle taught me.
Yeah, dude.
Your mom's like, that's cool, honey. No clue.
But we got
Oh, neat. She telling her friends and shit. Justin, come here. Do it for them. But little did you know that one of her friends was a Crip.
Oh my God.
What's your mom's name again?
Deborah.
Shout out Deborah. Shout out Deborah.
Deborah, we gotta go. Like, whoa.
And then we got electrifying Eli over there.
Boom.
Tearing it
And
up.
wow.
Most humble, most successful DJ of all time.
Boom,
Yeah.
boom.
I love it.
But yeah, appreciate you guys tuning in. And this is Stuck in Static, and we had some amazing guests tonight. So make sure you guys know what to do. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and we got the Z-Man walking in right now. But yeah, but he's
You always make it in.
But I do want to.
All right, that's it. Thanks for coming out,
Anytime we
guys.
go smooth, but we'll end on the outro, and we'll let you guys sit with it. Look that shit up, dog.
No, that was good.
Look that